Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Crucible Chat. Yes, it's Saturday, it's that time of the week where I can talk about whatever the hell I want without any consequence. As usual, my name is Mike, otherwise known as the Gadget Addict, and today we are playing a control match on Twilight Dusk or something like that. It's one of the Earth maps. And we dominate. We're the team I'm on, really awesome. We win quite spectacularly. But anyway, so last week, and thank you for the support on last week's video, incidentally, I had a major rant about Grand Theft Auto in Australia. And so this week, because we're kind of getting towards Christmas, I wanted to do something a little bit different, a little bit calmer, a little bit less ranty. So the next few Crucible chats, up until the end of the year, we'll be talking primarily about 2014 and what it's meant to me, and what I've experienced as a YouTuber. So the title of this week's episode is With a Little Help from My Friends. Now, you know, I'm not going to break out into song, most because I don't really like the Beatles, but anyway, I'm not breaking out a song. The point of today's chat is, I wanted to kind of do some kind of shout-out video at the end of the year for all the people who've meant something to me on YouTube. If you remember in September, I think it was August and September, I was doing shout-out Sunday videos. And I was getting people to subscribe to the channel, I would check out their channels, and yeah, I would feature 4 every week. And I gave up on that pretty quickly because it worked. It wasn't a good idea to do that. You know, people were subscribing, commenting, hey, look at my channel and all that, which is what I wanted them to do. And then when they weren't featured, they'd unsubscribe. And basically my subscriber numbers that kind of 8-week period are wild. If you ever look at my analytics, they're just bizarre. So I sacked that off pretty quickly because it wasn't having the desired effect. So, but there are still a lot of people who I want to make mention of. So this isn't a typical shout-out video. This is me just talking about people. And their effect that they've had on me as a person, my channel. And there are a lot of people who've helped me over the year, but there's a few that I've actually become quite close to. Even though I've never met them before, I've never actually spoken to them face to face or Skype to Skype or whatever. But they've come to mean quite a lot to me. So, I mean, the first one I want to talk about is the inimitable Big Will Bosky. Now, Will Bosky he's a killer YouTuber. He's very much like me in that he does kind of long form let's play videos. He runs through the latest games and does whole series and whatever he buys. But the way he does it is a little bit different to me. What he does is funnier than I am. I mean, I know I can be quite funny, but when I try to be funny, it comes off as really fake. I'm funny because I get very angry and I swear and just generally lose my shit at any available opportunity. Will Bosky is actually a genuinely funny person. He makes jokes, he does voices. He is possibly one of the funniest YouTubers I've ever watched when he wants to be. You should check out his channel and check out his Surgeon Simulator videos, because he does face cam and he gets dressed up with a fake mustache and a doctor's outfit. It's hysterical. It's Dr. Will Bosky. And he's just such a lovely guy. He's a genuinely nice fella. He gave me a shout out quite early on when I was under 100 subscribers. He was a very early supporter of me. And he picked me up and gave me a few shout outs and attracted some people to my channel, and for that I'm eternally thankful for him. Because what he does well, and he just likes to spread the love. And he actually runs a network. He runs the Views network, which I was a part of for a month or so before I joined TGN. But yeah, you want to check out Will Bosky. And oh yeah, incidentally, as I go through the channels that I'm talking about, the people I'm talking about, their links will be in the description, because I feel everybody should see this kind of thing. So yeah, firstly it was Will Bosky. I'm not doing these in chronological order anyway, I'm just doing them as they appear in my head. The next one would be Robbie, otherwise known as BiPolar Bear. Now I talk about him quite a lot, especially in Crucible Chat actually, because actually BiPolar Bear is the inspiration for this series. Now, he is a very different YouTuber to me, whereas again I do Let's Plays. He does, he used to primarily do Call of Duty videos. He's expanded. He does Titanfall now. He does. He's talked about Halo Master Chief Collection. He seems to start this little series of Is It Worth Buying, or is it worth your money? And basically both the games he's covered on that were a big fat no. But he's He is so funny in a very different way. He's potentially the worst person on the internet. I mean, he's a horrible, horrible person, but incredibly funny with it. He will quite happily do anything from talking about inserting a pineapple up his arse to the finer points of a political system of a country, depending on what he happens to be ranting about. But his rants are always very funny, very well informed as well. And I can't help but just love his banter. I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, if you get into a conversation on Twitter, he is hilarious. And he has a habit of putting out... Whereas people do follow Fridays and they'll do #FF and then just list a load of usernames. BiPolar Bear does it differently. He will just put the most random, obscure status out there and tag people one at a time and do these ridiculous Follow Friday tweets, which I just... They honestly make me laugh so hard every time. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what was one of the ones that he said about me. Oh, that's a good one. I really should have researched this. I really should. But anyway, I won't get into that. But either way, he's very, very, very funny. And, you know, he's a genuinely nice guy. He's dad. He's got a young kid. He works hard for a living. And he does great YouTube videos. He's had a huge surge in interest recently. And you know what? He deserves it. He's a great player. He's a great commentator. And just so worth watching. The next one I want to talk about is Sophie Edits. Now, Soapy Edits he's a bit of a strange YouTuber actually, because he does what he calls gun syncs, where he will take a piece of music and sync gunfire from computer games to it. And it sounds like the worst thing you could ever possibly want to watch, but when you actually watch it, my god, it's incredible what he does. It's amazing. But the reason I want to talk about Soapy Edits is not because of what he does on YouTube. What he does on YouTube is very good. But it's just because of how wonderfully helpful he is on social media, on Twitter. You know, he almost literally retweets every single one of my tweets. I'm not even joking. He talks to people, he gets attention out, he likes videos, he shares them, he retweets other people's retweets of whatever I'm doing. If it weren't for him, I'm pretty sure I would have a lot less subscribers, because he has quite a large Twitter following. Compared to me, I've only got like 380 something. He's got a lot more than that. But what he does is he spreads the word about everybody. You know, if he likes you, he will add you to some bot list and he will just retweet endlessly. And it's great because you get so much attention by accident just because of what he's done. And I love that, and I love that he also takes care. He's great with graphics. He's made me an end card, which I'm going to start using next year. For free as well, just because he's a nice guy. And yeah, I can't talk about the guy highly enough. He's fantastic. Next, but yeah, this video's dripping away. I'm running out of time here. I should start being quicker. Next, I want to talk about Nick. Nick from B&G Gaming, or if you're on Twitter, Bard Actor. Now, Nick is a wonderful guy. He's a professional actor. He's a Shakespearean actor over in America. Although currently he is understudying as Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, wherever he happens to live. But he is one of the kindest and most caring YouTubers I've ever encountered. He has a very strict policy of watching every single video. If he's interested in it, he'll watch a video from the first second to the very last second. Leaves a like and comments, tells you exactly what he likes. He will tell you what he doesn't like if there is something he doesn't like. But he's a largely positive guy. He has his own channel called B&G Gaming, where him, B, I don't know why he's called B, and N, not N, that's Nick, him, B, and his friend G, play games together, and they're usually kind of like little online, not online, like little indie PC games, but G is insane and hilarious, and B is the straight man to that comedy, and fails every time. He just bursts into laughter. He just can't keep a straight face when G's talking. But Nick is really cool because he will talk to you about anything, and he will offer advice. He will say what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. He also takes the time to mention my wife as well. I mean, because he found my channel through our Walking Dead series. I say my Walking Dead series that Emma was watching with me and commenting as we go. And he actually picked up on that she was there and she was talking and she was interacting, and he was one of Emma's first fans, explicitly. And I thought that was great that he took the time not only to sort of leave a comment, a shout out to me, but he would also, the first few times he commented on my videos, he would just go, "Hi Emma," and I just thought that was such a wonderful thing to do, and he's such a kind and caring guy, and he's just a wonderful person, so I can't talk highly enough about him. The last one I wanted to talk about was Coon Army World. Now, Coon Army World recently, I mean, he's always been quite a distinct follower on my channel, but recently he's just taken it up a notch. I mean, he makes great videos himself, but he gets involved with the Crucible chat videos. He writes the most eloquent and complicated responses to whatever I happen to be ranting about, and he'll always apologise because his English isn't great, but you know what, he makes more sense than a lot of English people I talk to. You know, he has this wonderful way of articulating his points, and he just comes across as such a nice guy, genuinely nice guy, and I do love his videos. I watch a lot of his videos when I get the chance to, and you should check him out, most definitely. And that's kind of it. That's the people who I interact with on a frequent basis. There are another couple that I do want to talk about, simply because, and this is the one thing that it's kind of made my year, as it were, as a YouTuber. People have started coming to me asking for help with things. So asking me for advice, or asking me, you know, do you like this video? Is this video any good? That kind of thing. Or what about my sound? And then the best part is they listen to me as well. So if I make a recommendation, I watch their next video and they've implemented it. You know, if I tell them to change the volume, boost the volume, or do better audio and that kind of thing, they do it. They actually listen. They actually care what I say, and I love that. And there's two of them specifically at the minute that have been doing it. First of all is Tom TK, and I've talked about him on the channel before, and he's a brilliant young YouTuber. He's got such a small following, and that's such a shame because he's really, really good. He deserves to get a lot bigger. And the other one is Hat, or Rage Hat, or Wampa Hat, or whatever the fuck he's called this week. He's a young lad from England. He's just got himself a PS4. He's very excitable. He gets very excited about things. But he asks a lot of insightful questions. He asks, you know, if he's not sure about something, he's happy to ask for help, and I'm happy to give him help. So, you know, those guys, they have kind of made my year, because for all the fact that I've received all this help from the earlier YouTubers I was talking about, these two as well are now asking me for help, and that makes me feel so valued as a YouTuber, as part of this YouTube community. And the fact that they listen to what I have to say. And 2014 has been such a good year for me as a YouTuber. There's so many people that I wanted to talk about in this video, and I only have like 13.5 minutes. I didn't have time to talk about them all. But this is going to be the first of a few videos where I'm going to talk about the stuff that's made a difference to me this year. So please do check in the description, check out the links of all the other YouTubers I've talked about. Check them out, subscribe to them, give them a bit of love. And if you've enjoyed this, please do leave a like and subscribe to me. And come back next week, because we'll be talking about something else next week. Another way that 2014 has been a wonderful year. And I hope you enjoyed this gameplay. As you can see, we dominated. I wasn't the best, but I got a lot of zone captures. But anyway, I'm going to leave this here. So have a good evening. Good night.